All right, guys, I'm going to answer some questions here regarding AITX because you know how people are always. It's like I became a bull on AITX. Ever since I became a bull on AITX, I just keep getting these questions. Hey, what do you think of this? Why do you think of that? Are you getting paid? Why are you such a shill? Oh, okay, this guy wants me to make a video talking about my setup. I'll make that today. Why not? But I always get these questions, and I want to address this one specifically because I get it a lot, either in my messages or here on YouTube comments. Why don't you talk more about the ever increasing dilution? The outstanding shares are now, yeah, they are. Let me show you here on Y charts. I'm showing you Y charts. Y charts keeps track of the outstanding shares. Since last year, the outstanding shares have increased from 6 billion of June 5, 2023 to 9.5 billion. So it's increased 3 billion. Let's just round it. It's increased 3 billion since last year, which is a lot, but let's continue here. I'll show you why it doesn't really matter to me. To me, especially with where we are in terms of price action. Why don't you talk about the monthly dilution by CEO Steve Reinhardt? I guess people commented it. You mad or nah? Haha, long live is really. Oh, geez. I'm getting with those people. Okay, I guess so. What do you think about the 2.5 billion more shares that AITX is making available? Yeah, no, no. The authorized share increase is completely gonna that was gonna happen because we're getting so close to maxing out 10 billion, as I just showed you. What will that do to the stock price? Nothing. It will do nothing to the stock price. It really. I'll show you why. We'll see. We think that stock price now just above a wheel turd, and the 2.5 billion shares more come on the stock price, which is below a wheel turd. You're better off buying a lottery ticket. So that's like the biggest thing people want me to address is the outstanding shares. Over the course of 3 years, let's look at the 3 year here. Since July, no, since May of 2021, we had 3.5 billion shares. Since then, we've tripled it. So over the course of almost 3 years, we triple. So so basically every year every year we dilute a whole 3 billion essentially. Actually, no, that's a lie. This is some interesting information. In May of 2021 we had 3.5 billion outstanding shares, and then in going into 2023 we had 5.37 billion. So there was actually not much, only 2 billion in dilution over the course of about 2 years. Then from 2023 of January up until now, 2024 April or March, because this was last updated March, as you can see here, March 12th, 2024. Since early 2023, we went from 5.378 billion to 9 billion. So not going to say quite a double, but there's definitely been more dilution this past year compared to the other years. Um, Hopefully that starts to slow down. You know what? I really should interview Steve Reinhardt because sometimes I feel people interview them but don't ask far thinking questions. They don't ask questions. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to these people. There are a lot of questions I want to ask as well. Either way, that's besides the point. Uh, None of this matters to me. That's the point of this video. None of this matters to me. Let me switch over to the charts. Okay, so they've been diluting more and more and more. Okay, I get it. But let me just show you some context here on the monthly. Where are we on the monthly? Let's just take a look at this monthly chart. Where are we on the monthly? Do you see a pattern here? Do you see the cycles? Or are you blind? Okay, this thing goes up and then it just tanks, and then it goes up again, and then it tanks, and then it goes up again, and then it tanks. Real slow, by the way. It takes forever. This one took, yeah, no, it takes forever. It takes forever. But we are as close to the bottom as possible. This thing would have to go to 0009 for it to be at the absolute bottom. I mean, the stock would have to die at 0001 in this case, which I don't believe because they're a real company. This is a real company, guys. This isn't just they're about to achieve profitability and so much more. I can go on and on. I make these videos not every day, but often enough, and I keep track of the company. There's a lot happening here. And so the dilution to me is not a big deal. Not with where we are currently in terms of price action. If we were up here, or up here, or even up here, if we were close to the top or even somewhere in the middle here in the dead zone, as I like to call it, then well, I've already made videos back then. You guys remember back then? I was like trashing the stock because I'm like, oh, this is garbage. This is trash. It's just going to keep going down. And I was right. It did keep going down. But here we are as close to the bottom as possible. Now here's the best part. Ready? If anyone ever tells you, oh, the outstanding shares, the dilution, boohoo. Even with all the dilution, I know some of you who know me very well are gonna, you know immediately where I'm going with this. Even with the dilution since 2021, because we just looked at the Y charts, we just looked at how much they diluted from 2021 of May up until now. Even then, look at this run up here from 2 cents to holy crap, 28 cents. Then it dropped like it usually does. And then, oh my God, another one from 5 cents to 11 cents. And then here we had a little run from 5 cents to 8 cents. And then there was these are little runs. Here's a little bigger one from 2 cents and a half to 5 cents. So a 100% run there. And yeah, I'm sure some of you are starting to see the pattern. But as we trend downward, we still get those run-ups. Now here's the best part. Eventually we found some sideways action. We eventually went sideways above, what was it, 1 penny? No, 0057. We went sideways here for the longest time since November of 2022 up until mid-August of 2023. We just went sideways. We just went sideways. And every time it would come down nice and cheap to 0055, 55-ish, somewhere around that area, we would eventually get a run up. We would eventually get a run up. We would eventually get a run up. And these were runs, these were like 200, 300% runs. Keep in mind, there was more dilution in 2023 relative to the previous years, as I had just previously mentioned. And I just showed you that. And we still had pretty massive runs. Now, okay. So do you see what I'm saying here? Okay, we still got run. This was a 300% run from 002. We'll have 006. Here we got a little run again. And here's our bottom at 002, 0019. I thought this was the bottom over here at 0055. I was wrong. I think the bottom is at 002 now. I could be wrong. It doesn't even matter because I just showed you. We're looking at the smaller time frame here on the daily. You switch to the monthly and the picture is very clear. How much lower can this really go? It's already it's nearing the demand. We're nowhere near supply up here. This is probably the best place to buy is down here where it's at right now. Because if you bought anywhere above a penny, you're just holding a giant bag as it continues to go lower. Which is why I kept talking smack about the stock back then because I'm like, oh, this stock is garbage. It's gonna keep going down. But now, how do I explain this? Okay, so you notice this downtrend here? It just keeps going down, keeps going down. It couldn't find even a bottom anywhere here. And then eventually, it goes sideways here and breaks down. Goes sideways here, it breaks down. You guys seeing that pattern? Hopefully you're seeing that pattern. Let me just show it to you one more time before I let you guys go. I don't want to make this video too long. You guys who have been following me for a long time, you know this wasn't supposed to be a serious channel. But right here, we had multiple touches of support here. 1, 2, 3, multiple. And we eventually broke down and came down lower. We couldn't find a quote unquote temporary bottom, whatever you want to call it. We couldn't find anywhere where we were going to go sideways until down here. And we went sideways, like I said, for a year, about a year. and then we broke down, and then we found a bottom down here at 002, had a huge run up, and now it's coming down again. I would expect it still hasn't even touched 002. I mean, it almost teased it, but the point I'm trying to make is I'm thinking this is another repeat of the pattern we've been seeing for the past years, essentially, right? It bottoms out somewhere and it has its runs before it breaking down lower. Has its bottom, temporary bottom, and has its runs, and then it breaks down. Bottom here, this had two runs, you can say. You can call it two runs here. And then I would expect at least one or two more in the future. And it takes a while. Keep in mind, it takes forever for this thing to not only come down to support, but also have its run. And they're just doing there's so much more happening with the company here where we are right now in 2024 versus all of here. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And it's a real company. Like I said, it's not I'm trying to think of it's not Cirque. Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't even know if Cirque is a real company. Maybe it is, but its stock price, it's a real fallen angel here. This thing used to be at like 25 cents or something. Now look at it. So, yeah, it's not Cirque. It's not. What's another stock I can use here? I can't think of it. LGBS. Yeah, there we go. It's not LGBS. These fake companies that would just pump on Moon Market making a video on them. This was back in 20. Yeah, look. This was back in 2021. Look at that. Surprise, surprise, back in 2021. Look at that run up. Oh boy. What happened then after that 2021 after the 2021 craze? They just dumped and never recovered. Aitx, real company. That's the difference. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I'll see you on Monday.